What's up, everybody? It's Kenneth, Mr. Smellgood 803. We're back with another video. Middle Eastern fragrances are one of the best kept secrets in the fragrance community, but they also can be one of the most challenging to wear. I've got a fragrance today that I think is going to help introduce you to the beauty of Middle Eastern fragrances. So stay tuned. So Middle Eastern fragrances. The challenge usually comes in from the main note that you find in most Middle Eastern fragrances, and that's the note of oud. So what is oud? Now, oud is derived from a hardwood tree. Now, the hardwood tree itself is generally, it has no fragrance to it. It doesn't begin to have fragrance until that particular tree has been injured in some type of way. And then the tree creates a resin to protect itself from that particular injury. Now, where the resin begins to harden, it changes that hardwood into what we call agarwood. And once the agarwood is harvested, that's where we get oud from. Now, oud itself is generally a very pungent smelling fragrance. It's strong, it's musky, it's earthy, and woody. And depending on the concentration of that fragrance oil, it can be very overpowering. Now, generally within Middle Eastern perfumery, I call it the Holy Trinity. You usually have some common combination of rose, floral notes, saffron, spicy, and the oud, which is going to give you that musk. This particular fragrance today has a great combination of some of those components. Now, this fragrance is coming to us from the house of Rihanah. Not Rihanna. Rihanna. Okay? Don't get an umbrella. It's not raining. Okay? Now, this fragrance is called Musky Oud. So just in the name itself, it's already giving you some of the notes that are going to be prominent in this fragrance. But let's talk about these fragrance notes, okay? Just get a nice little spritz in the air here. And as you can see, I only needed one spritz because a little goes a long way. Now, in the opening, I'm getting a lot of fruitiness. One thing about this particular house, you don't get a lot of information online in regards to the fragrance notes. This particular house does not provide briefs on their fragrances. There's no information on the boxes that gives you a breakdown of the fragrance notes used. So it's been up pretty much to the fragrance community on the internet to kind of decipher what fragrance notes we are getting from it. So it can be up for debate, but for me, most of the notes that I've seen online, I can really get a lot of those fragrant notes. I can pick those up myself as well. On the top, there's berry. There's some type of raspberry, some type of fruity accord at the very top. In the middle, you're going to settle down with some saffron, which is going to give you a little bit of spice. But I also pick up a powdery note once you have it on skin and it starts to settle down. That could be possibly from iris, maybe geranium. There's some type of floral component that's going with that saffron to give you the powdery floral notes that's in the mid. Now, in the base, you've got musk and you've got oud. Some people say leather, some people say they pick up tobacco. I really don't get those notes for myself personally. I'm really just getting that soft oud and the soft musk in the base. Now, I've already got it on skin and I've been letting it dry down for a while. And just really as it softens up and blends in together, it becomes so soft. Like I said, that powdery note in the mid is really what sells me on this as well. The blend is just wonderful. This is a wonderful blend. It's sensual, it's warm, it's inviting, it's powdery. Like I said before, this is a great blend, and I think a very good introduction for people who've never really experienced oud fragrances. Now let's talk about the compliment factor. You're not going to be smelling like anybody else if you're wearing this. Trust me. Most people stay away from oud because they've heard that it's pungent. Most people maybe have smelled oud fragrances before and the blend was just very overpowering for their nose. So they stay away from oud. But I'm telling you, because of the powderiness and the freshness of the fruitiness combined with the oud with this particular fragrance, This is one of those this is one of those fragrances where you're going to get that reaction. Oh my God, what are you wearing? This is one of those fragrances, okay? Now, when we start talking about projection and longevity, that also goes hand in hand with the compliment factor, because this is a beast. As you saw, I only had one spritz in the air and I can still smell it like I just sprayed it. So a little bit goes a long way. If you overspray this is going to turn from that compliment of, oh my God, what you're wearing, to, oh my God, what are you wearing? Because it can turn on you real quick if you overspray this, okay? Longevity is not going to be a problem. A couple of sprays will do you. I'm talking anywhere between 10 to 12 hours of longevity on skin. It's going to project for at least 4 to 5 hours for about maybe 4 to 5 feet. This is one of those room filling scents where when you have it on and you walk into a room, immediately people are going to notice that someone is wearing something, okay? Your sillage and scent trail is going to be amazing. Your scent bubble, like I said before, it's going to envelop you in this fragrance really for about 5 hours before it starts to die down and become more of a skin scent for you. So the longevity is there, projection is there, a little goes a long way. So be very mindful of your sprays. When is this going to be more appropriate? For me, when we start talking about more oud, musk fragrances, things that are going to have your incense and things of that nature, this is going to lean more so towards winter and fall and winter, cooler areas, cooler months, cooler temperatures. This performs very well because it cuts through that cold air, and it's going to really project better in cooler climates. Now, I will say, Middle Eastern fragrances, they're based in the Middle East. They wear this all year round. They wear fragrances that are like this all year round. They don't have the same type of climate that we do, but yet and still they can wear this all year round. They've gotten their nose accustomed to it. So I do say wear what you like when you like it, but just understand that heat is going to react certain ways with fragrances. So just be mindful of how many sprays that you're wearing, depending on if you're in a warmer environment. But wear what you like. But for me, it's definitely going to lean towards the cooler months. It's going to work real well date night, nighttime. It seems more appropriate for something like that. I don't really see this being an office scent per se, unless you are only maybe putting on one spray. Just something very light. It's going to keep you noticed still though, so it's not going to be that overpowering. So maybe one spray is going to be good enough. But this is a great fragrance. I think it's going to really stand out for you in the cooler months. Okay. Now let's talk about pricing. You're not going to believe this, but 100 ml of this right now on discounters, this is going to go anywhere between $30, $35, maybe at the highest $40. And that's very unbelievable. The note of oud and the fragrance oil of oud is one of the most expensive fragrance oils in the world today. They call it liquid gold. In some markets, the value for oud is higher than the value of gold. So how can you get away with getting this particular oud fragrance at such an affordable price? It's pretty simple. They're not using natural oud oils in these fragrances. This is synthetic, okay? And it's not to say that you're not going to find fragrances that do have natural oud oils in the fragrance. Generally speaking, those are going to be running you more so of that $400, $500, $600 level in pricing, because they are probably using a very small percentage of natural oud fragrance oil. It's very super rare to find natural oud oil now. We've harvested pretty much all the trees, so we are artificially creating agarwood by injecting hardwood with certain bacteria. That's where we're getting the majority of our oud and agarwood from in today's time. But this is affordable. It gives you a great option to break the mold, to smell like no one else around you. I guarantee you, this is not something that everyone is going to be having on a day-to-day basis as this weather gets cooler. You're definitely going to stand out. The price value is amazing from this particular house. There are quite a few from this house. I've been really digging more into the Middle Eastern fragrances more recently over the last couple of years, and I've got quite a few from this particular house of Rihanah. Musky Oud comes to mind. Musky Oud comes to mind. But for me, right now, at one point in time, Musky Oud was my favorite. But after I've been wearing this a little bit more over the last couple of years, this is the one. This is the one for me. I'll definitely be having this in my rotation, maybe even once a week. I'm gonna have to wear this as it cools down. It's just that great. It's that good. So hopefully I've introduced you guys to something new. Take a chance, try it out. I'll have links down in the description below to discount fragrance houses, discount fragrance websites that will have this available. Try it for yourself. Come back in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you already have Musky Oud, hit me in the comments. Tell me, what are you thinking about this particular fragrance in this fragrance house? So that's the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. I thank everyone who's been subscribing and liking and commenting on the videos. Now, if you've gotten to this point and you have not yet hit that subscribe button, come on. Just take a quick second. Go right down here to the bottom, click the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified for every time I put out new content. Once again, it's Kenneth, Mr. Smell Good 803, and we're out. Peace.